G'day, Finru here, how you doing? Happy Homebrew Wednesday, number 2, from New Zealand. So it's probably Tuesday with a lot of you guys, but, you know, it's fine. Oh, look at this. These are my hops, some of my hops. I'm brewing at the moment. And so these are my fuggles, and they are absolutely beautiful. I think this is my best. I think that the reason that they smell so good is because taken from Stoneyard Vineyard, about preserving them and putting them in, sort of drying them out like he does, putting them in a vacuum pack and putting them in the freezer, and they're absolutely outstanding. Cheers, Stoney. So today's Homebrew Wednesday is a tasting on. And I've actually done this video before, but unfortunately it all went to custard at the end, as things often do, so I'll try and get through this. I've poured myself a wee while back, probably half an hour ago. This is the old PICULIER. And so that's the beer that I was trying to emulate. And, of course, I also have to apologise to David from DTS 1953. Because I have called him all sorts of things over the last couple of weeks, except for his proper name. I got the David bit right, but the DTS, but the 19, called him all sorts of things. So I'm sorry, David. I really am sorry. But I'm very thankful, as I said last time, for you taking the time to send me the recipe when I was trying to sort out about a lot of those English beers that are... they've got a very toffee flavour, and I know there's a toffee malt out there, but I actually tried a toffee malt. I won a bag of toffee malt, about 5 kg a few years ago, and I tried a little bit of it and I didn't like it. So I went down another channel track and decided that I'll try some golden syrup just a few weeks back, just to see if I can sort of emulate the old speckled hen or the old PICULIER. And I've got a can today, and I pulled this out. As I say, I've already done this video, but we'll do it again. So I already know what the results are like, and they are outstanding. So let's pour a pint of this. Can't do this video too often. This is 6.7%. And I'm still brewing my beer, and I've actually hit the wall with my fatigue. See, I just spilled that on the floor. With my fatigue about 2 hours ago, and I'm really running on. You'll have to bear with me. I'll get through this. It is a beautiful pint. It is a beautiful beer. And if I say so myself, I did a really good job of brewing it. So yeah. Okay, so here we go. So this is the old this is the Thixton old PICULIER beer, and that comes in at 5.6%. And this is in a 440ml can. Now, I particularly like this beer. And I like, I like craft beer, what you'd call craft beer. But my passion has gone towards more what you'd call multi-style beers. And unfortunately, the craft beer industry hasn't gone that kind of way. Anyway, that's another story for another day. So here we go. So this is the old Pulteney from the can, and this is the old old PICULIER. So this is old Pulteney. What's the thing? So that's the old PICULIER, and this is the old PICULIER clone that David sent me. So let's just go and have a smell. And of course, this one's warmed up. This one will be cold, but it doesn't matter because so this one here, well, it's warmer, you see. So this is probably not a really great test, but I do know that I had them at the same temperature on the last video that was white because of a few issues. Yeah, so this, well, you see, and this is something that I spoke about in the last video. I get that that rich golden syrup flavour in that. However, when I look at the can, it said beer contains malted barley and wheat. So obviously malted barley and wheat. So obviously it doesn't have any golden syrup or treacle or anything in it. However, the taste of that, you can get that flavour of that in it from using that adjunct. However, obviously they haven't. It would appear that they haven't used it in this. Anyway, let's get on to the flavours. Obviously, there's not much of a head there now because I've been sitting here forever. And it's a beautiful beer. And I've always said that the sweetness and the toffiness in it it's very moreish, and I like that. It's not like a sweet. Well, it is sweet, but it's not like a lolly, if you know what I mean. This one here, and I keep thinking, oh yeah, they're using golden syrup, but now I'm not so sure. Now the only way I might email them and just ask them, and that way I'll know, won't I? So anyway, here's the clone, which I'm rather partial to in a huge way. It's got a nice malty aroma, subtle. By Jesus, it's close. It is so close to this. The recipe for the old Peculier is so simple, it's ridiculous. So David sent me the recipe, and it was so. And what I got out of it, and how I sort of, you always adjust things slightly, and I did that for mathematics sort of purposes. Like I put 5.5 kg of ale malt, 300 grams of dark crystal, 200 grams of light chocolate. I put 8 grams of calcium chloride and 2 grams of gypsum, and that went into the mash. I put 300 grams of Northern Brewer hops at 90 minutes into the boil. So I got it boiling first. Normally I do a first wort. You know about that. And David suggested Challenger hops, but I didn't have any, couldn't get them. Styrian Goldings hops at 90 minutes as well. I think he suggested just Golding hops, but Styrian's all I had. 15 grams of Styrian Golding hops at 10 minutes. So it's very, very simple. Very simple. It's funny, isn't it, how it's interesting how we go for these recipes and we think, we're doing so well, we're so complex. This, a little bit of this, 40 grams of this and 13 grams of that, and that's gonna, and this is gonna, and it's just you've heard me talk about this before. This is a simple recipe. For goodness sake, this is a simple recipe. 5.5 kg of ale malt, 300 grams of dark crystal, and 2 grams of light chocolate. That's it. And it is so close to the original. I can't believe it. This is a little bit more, kind of got that toffee a little bit more, but Jesus, not much. Yeah, I can smell it. And it's that golden syrup thing that I put in that other golden syrup brew. And I'll tell you what. And this is a lot warmer, as I said. Well, this has my vote. It's so close to the original, it's not funny. How they, Teakston got, I'm wondering if they even put even more dark crystal into it, or whether they did use some adjuncts, but it doesn't say it on the can. So it probably should. I'm going to text them. I'm going to email them and ask them. If they don't want to reply, it's fine. But I think they will, because I can imagine they're really good dudes. So, David, thank you so much. That is a really, really good project. You gave me the recipe. You could see what I was trying to do. You sent me the recipe, and I did it, and the outcome has been outstanding. You're a top man, David, so thank you so much. Really appreciate it. This is the one I prefer. Mind you, this is another % higher in alcohol, but you know, quite like it. Well, this I guess it'll be a higher percentage in alcohol would add, I guess, would alter the flavour slightly, but it's so close it's not funny. And I would be putting the recipe in the comments, or you know, in the description at the bottom, and you guys can have a look at it and see if you want to brew it. Because if you like that sort of beer, I would say this is the clone. I don't know where David got it from, but it's outstanding. So it's an outstanding beer. So I'm going to move on. Thank you so much. So shout outs. I've got some shout outs coming. And I'm going to run through them quickly because I want to keep this video short. I'll see I'm at 11 minutes at the moment. So Coro Girl, Colorado Rockies in America there. Great channel. Has a solid understanding about brewing beer and loves to brew all sorts of things as well as being quite arty. Has a fabulous channel. Mallory and Chew, Imperfectly Me Craft. Outstanding channel once again. So what they normally do is go and visit a brewery, and then they go through and interview. Mallory has a knack of being able to interview people and get some great answers, and she's really engaged in the answers and taking on board what they say, and I love that. Fabulous. Her and her husband Chu have Imperfectly Me Craft, and they're a great couple. Sorry for moving on so fast. Jay Keghouse, man, this guy has got a passion for home brewing beer, and I can remember what it was like years ago when I first started home brewing. I had that passion and that. I mean, I'm still brewing and I'm still loving it. Don't get me wrong, but man, this guy has really got a passion. Grows his own hops. Does, I think, the boil in the bag method, and just loves it, and he gets really excited about brewing. He's got a great channel, and he doesn't have many subscribers, so get over to his channel and give him a bit of a hand. Same as Coro Girl. She's only starting off, give her a bit of a hand, and Mallory and Chew, they could also use a hand, although they're doing very well. But still, get over and see them, because if you enjoy this sort of stuff, get over and enjoy it. Grimbarium Brewer. The hand pull man. He's the man. I tell you what, this guy can brew beer, and he's got the hand pull thing, and I'm so jealous. I would just love to have that. And he's a really good brewer. I think he does brew in the bag as well, and he's got a good personality, and he's got a mate called Luke, who's on board with him. He's learning to brew at the moment too, and he's just started up a channel, and I'll actually put his Luke's channel in the comments as well, in the thing as well. So you guys, you're doing really well. Whenever you post a video, I just love it. Crew a Wolf. He's building a homebrew shed. He's been a home brewer for a long, long time. He knows his stuff, knows what he's doing. Obviously makes some really good beer. And he's decided to, I think I might have talked about this last time, to gut his shed out and make a nice, his own home brewery. So that's fantastic. He's got a great channel. He's a top man, and I really enjoy listening to to what he's got to say about brewing and stuff. So cheers, guys. Don's beer review from Scotland. He's got the Scottish accent from heaven, my wife would say. Who's that? Oh, that's Don. Oh, wow, he's got a fabulous accent. Oh, well, no. Some would say I do. No, she said, no, you don't, Finn. You have a boring accent. So, so he loves beer, and I think he's going to dabble in doing some brewing, and I think he has been dabbling in a bit of brewing. It's so he gets big boxes of different brews in from all over the world, and he just loves it. He's a top fellow. So I'm sorry I'm scooting through all these really quick, but anyway, so cheers, Don. Backyard Brewer, great setup. in Australia. I think I might have spoke about him last week, next week. God's sake. So yeah, he's got a great setup there in Australia. He's a top man. He doesn't do many videos, but it's worth watching his videos and getting over there. I'll leave a link below. So cheers, Backyard Brewer. Yeah, top man. Beer man. It's beer time, beer man. So he's an American guy with a massive beard, and he is just loves it. And he's just making his own backyard home brewery. He's got 5 taps, and as I said, I've got 1. So that's how serious he is. Man, he's going to have to be doing some brewing. He got some brew. You got some 5 taps here. Let's see you fill them, brother. So it's really good. So thank you so much, and I will have some more shout outs in other Homebrew Wednesdays to come. So today I am brewing. So this is great. This is really good. Once again, I'll say fucking home brewing is just fabulous. Get into it, guys. I mashed out before, and the mash out tank was 75, and I've got a new mash tun. And what I've done is it's a smaller mash tun, and it's held its heat really well. And then when I mashed out, it mashed out at 75, and I've never really had that before. So it's a smaller mash tun. It's doing the job. I've got plenty of room, and I'll do a video about that at another time. I had to cut down my manifold on the inside and do a few alterations, and did that before the brew day. Well, on the brew day. So I'm absolutely shattered at the moment, but I'm really enjoying talking to you guys. So thank you so much for coming along. So what I'm brewing at the moment is one that goes back quite a few years for when I first started brewing, and it was quite a nice brew. And I never really had much temperature control on it or anything like that. I didn't know a lot, but it was quite a nice beer. And so because I got a smaller mash tun now, I thought I'd start off with this brew. So it's only 3.5 kg of pale malt, like English style, 350 grams of light crystal, 100 grams of brown malt, and 100 grams of wheat malt. I've got my fabulous homegrown hops that have been, I said before, and so I'm going to put 50 grams of Fuggles. They'll go on at 80 minutes, so they'll be doing that shortly. And then 50 grams of Fuggles at 20 minutes, plus yeast nutrient and Irish moss in the boil with the yeast nutrient. And 50 grams of Cascade at 10 minutes. It's this one here that's still in the vacuum pack. And then 50 grams of Cascade at 5 minutes. So that's going to be fantastic. So I'm going to use SO5. Now to say, I always used to say that, I still say it, that SO5 is my house yeast. Having said that, flavours change over time, ideas change over time. We can get stuck in our ways, and it doesn't hurt to be a bit, more fluid about what we're brewing with and what we're using. Because this here is SO4. Fucking fabulous. So, quite often our brewing abilities and knowledge will grow over time, and our process will change, and our process will get better. So what happens is something that wasn't so good 5 years ago is okay today because we're better at brewing. And so SO4 may be making a beer that we enjoy more than we did back then, if that makes sense. But anyway, I've stuck with SO5 because that is my house, and I will maybe do this brew again with SO4, but we're only splitting hairs here really, aren't we? Right, so what have I got now? So I've got that. I'm just about ready to vol off. I'll be vol off, and I'll be putting these hops in at first wort. So as soon as I boil off and start pouring into the boil kettle, I'll be adding these bloody beautiful hops here. So I'm just about ready to finish up. We've done 20 minutes. That's too long. What have I got here? So that's what I'm brewing. The apple press is nearly finished. I've got the holes all drilled. I have to sand off all the burrs and everything on the holes. And hopefully, so it's just about finished. And I want to do a demonstration in a video because I've been building on a video. And hopefully next week I'll be able to do a video on the apple press. It's a simple one. If you're into cider and you're going, you know, how do I make one? I used to overthink it and think, oh God, it's too hard. But it's not hard at all. The trick is freezing your apples first and then getting a simple frame made, and I'll show you. So stick with my channel. Thank you so much for watching and coming along, and please like and subscribe if you like what I'm talking about and you like what I'm doing. Got a lot of things to talk about. I've got a lot of recipes to go over, and I'm always trying to upgrade and updo things on a basic level. As I say, I'm always brewing with simple, all grain brewing with simple equipment that's not going to cost very much. Okay, we'll talk about that next week. About, you know, when people are wanting to homebrew, quite often they're strapped for cash, and the problem that I have with that is that they go into a brew shop and they're presented with all these flash shiny things that cost a lot of money. So if you get to the end, as I was way back in the day when the kids were young, I can remember having enough money for a pouch. I think it was, I don't know what it was a small pouch of drum tobacco and a 6-pack of beer. And I was working in a band at the same time, playing in a band at the same time as having a full-time job. And it was just, you know, I just couldn't, you know. So there's no way in the world that I would have been able to afford shiny equipment, you know, all-in-one systems and things. They weren't around then. But I started doing kits just in a bucket. And moving forward to where I am now, and I really rate a simple process. And we'll talk about that in another time, because I just have a simple mash tun made out of a cooler, got a simple boil pot and a plastic bucket and an old fridge that paid $50 for to ferment, you know, under temperature. So come aboard, guys. Brew some cheap beer, brew some brilliant beer. So I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for coming aboard for Homebrew Wednesday number 2. And cheers. Take care.